All right, now we're doing 7Q dot calculator. This is by Ryan 5 and 89% of the people like it. We have to write a calculator that receives strings for input. The dots will represent the number in the equation. There will be dots on one side and, an operator, and dots again after the operator. The dots and the operator will be separated by one space. Here are the following valid operators: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and we're going to have these as division. It doesn't really matter. We'll have to return a string that contains dots, as many as the equation returns. If the result is 0, we're going to return an empty string. When it comes to subtraction, the first number will always be greater than or equal to the second number, right? So basically you see here, we're going to do this plus this, it's going to equal this. Here's the dividing. We're going to do this divided by this, and it's going to be 2, so it's going to be 5 divided by 2 is 2.5, but we're just knocking off the 0.5 and leaving 2 dots right there. Down here, 1 divided by 2, it's 0.5, so just empty string, right? So over here, we're going to start off by declaring some variables. While we declare these variables, the first variable we're going to do is we're going to use this destructuring assignment syntax. It's a JavaScript expression that makes it possible to unpack values from arrays or properties from objects into distinct variables, right? So we've got something like A and B inside of an array, and we're just going to say we're declaring A and B to be 10 and 20 right here. Hopefully you get what I'm trying to say. And that's what it'll push out down here. So we're going to say here, we're going to say let an array, and we're going to say first operator last, okay? And so the first will be this part, then we're going to separate it, we're going to split this thing by spaces, then we're going to have the operator and then the last. And to split this thing up, we're going to use the split method, which takes a pattern and divides a string into an ordered list of substrings by searching for the pattern, putting the substrings into an array, and returning the array, right? And we're going to do it by the spaces in between the words. So just like that. Like this one would come up with an array with every single word as separate elements, okay? So we're going to say equals equation dot split, and then in here a space, all right? And we're also going to say comma, and we're going to declare an object, and we're going to have that equal, and then we're going to have a key, and then we're going to have a value, and the value is going to be a function, so A, B, and then we're going to have A, and then we're going to have the operator, and then B right there, comma. This is just the little frame right now, 1, 2, 3. So we've got 4 of those. We're going to have addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Let me line these up real quick. And then we're going to say plus, minus, times, and divided by, all right? And now we can just, when we're looking for the operator, we can just look at, I'll show you what we can do, right? So right down here, we're going to say result. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to say return, and we're going to repeat all these dots using this repeat method. And the repeat method constructs and returns a new string which contains the specified number of copies of the string on which it was called, concatenated together, right? And what we're going to do is say repeat, and then the count is going to be in here, and we're going to use a little trick to get the count. So right here we're going to say string dot repeat, and for the count we're going to say object. We're going to access this object, and then we're going to use the key of operator. All right, so it's going to pass one of these in there, and then it's going to automatically, on whichever one it is, it's going to automatically do a function, so we're just going to do the function by saying first dot length as A, and then last dot length as B. All right, so that's basically how it's going to work. Let's test it out, see if it works. Something's wrong. A plus B. Oh yeah, don't forget these arrows. All right, because if we don't have the arrows, it's not a function. So, all right, and now it should work. Let's test it out. All right, awesome. Attempt it. 5 milliseconds, that's pretty good. Usually we'd go and do a one-liner, but all the one-liners that I saw that we could do use this eval function, and it has a big fat warning even before you go into anything saying never to use eval. And so this is it. Let's just submit this, no big deal. All right, and let's go to my solutions. Not yet. Very much like this one, and we'll see you next time.